So look, today we're gonna go over a little bit of TA, right? And just to show you, maybe some of you may know some chart work. You may not. I'll show you kind of what we're looking at and the idea of what it symbolizes, right? So in this case, we're looking at the weekly, right? Here you go. This is the weekly. It's telling you right here, right? So every candle here, right, represents 1 week, right, of action, right, of the auction, right? Because ultimately the markets is a auction mechanism, right? So if we look at it this way, say this is your straight line, and say that here we are buying a car, right? See, this is your wheels. Here's your wheels, and then there's the car, right? And the car's coming up. The car's coming up to the auction. You know, it may be rolling up. It's not. They may be pushing the car up, right? So they're pushing the car up to the auction, right? And in the auction, you know, maybe over here, it might be two of us speculating that, you know, hey, if they turn the car on, right? The car, I would buy that car. Say it's a Honda Accord, for instance, right? Say that I would buy that car if it turns on, and it's, you know, maybe it's a 2010 or something like that. And I say, you know what? If it turns on and it sounds good, I'm willing to give $1,500 for it, right? That's what person one says, and then person two says, you know what? I'm willing to. Yeah, if it turns on, I got $1,700 for it. Okay, cool. But if as soon as they put it to the stage and the car, say they try to turn it on and it won't start and it sounds terrible, then immediately you go from $1,500 it being worth, right, potentially at the auction, right, to you guys dropping the price down to $900. Like, you know what, we don't want it for $1,500, we'll pay $900 for it. Well, that's kind of what these candles mean. Like at the time, XRP was 50 cents, and then for whatever reason, market conditions, the economic situation, you know, the economy, you know, laws and crackdowns and regulations, maybe that caused these candles to start to go down. You know what? Maybe technology, you know, news, whatever, right? So that's what these candles are telling you, that in the auction, the price went down, right? And if the car starts up real good and it sounds good, then you say, oh, damn, you know what? I'm willing to pay $2,500 for the car. Right, now you got interested bidders at $2,500. So what happens? Then the price starts to go up, right? That means that the technology, the product is good, so the price starts to go up, right? That's essentially what the market means, right? So in this situation, we have a descending triangle, right? This is what this means, right? So over time, right? Over time, the price shot up, right? And then it's bouncing back and forth here. Buyers are getting suppressed down, but they have a floor here. They have a floor, and the floor is right here, right? This is the floor, right? And they have a floor, so eventually something has to give, right? And we're at the end of it. You know, it's according to this chart pattern, the end of the triangle is somewhere in September, right? Even though the case could be over in June, the case could be over in July. Once you see a candle break above this here, close. I mean, not with a wick. It didn't go like this, and then it wicks above, meaning that's telling us this is a look above and fail, right? That means that the buyers, the bidders, try to get us up and above the price. The price was $1,500. We tried to get it up to $2,500. Guess what? Rejection. Nope, the car's only worth $1,500. Matter of fact, we're going to push this thing back down. The car's only worth $900, right? That's essentially what the auction is telling us, right? So then, in this situation here, right, we have the chart, boom, right? Essentially, September's, give or take, that's the date it's supposed to be over with, right? This triangle. So we're expecting a burst to either way before then, right? If it goes down, then XRP is going to fucking 10 cents, 20 cents, whatever, right? You could lose half your position, probably, of where it's at right now. But the upside of XRP, right, is much higher than that, right? Mainly because we know was, you know, the situation, right? So that's what this chart is telling us. Where are we going with it? We don't know. We're all speculators at the end of the day, right? But there's a lot of news that does tell us that XRP, you know, has a good shot at winning, right? I could go into old let's go into old, let's go here. Let's give you an example. I just want to show you guys this. I'm gonna give you a quick history lesson of XRP, right? And we're gonna go like this. Let's go to Google. Okay. Boom. So if you don't know, you probably do, right? This is one of Joel Katz, right? This is one of the founders and the CFOs, right? CTO, Chief Technology Officer, Joel Katz. Okay, this guy is widely considered one of the best white hats in the world, right? And what is a white hat? A white hat is somebody who hacks, who's a hacker, but he doesn't steal the funds. He notifies the bank, the institution, whatever, that hey, you know what? You have a vulnerability in your security. I can hack you, but I'm not going to. This is what you need to do. You need to fix this, okay? And let's follow Renzi Rios. So we could fix this. This is what you need to do, right? So he's a good guy, in other words, right? It's probably why he's worked for the government to secure a lot of things. And so let's go here. So let's go to David Shwartz patent 1988. Okay, and here it is. This is the USA patent, right? David Shwartz, Joel Katz, right? And this was way back then. And here it is. Here's the patent right here of distributed ledger technology, right? There it is, right? Let's go to this one, right? This is distributed ledger technology. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of a book called, let's go to duplicate tab. I don't know if you've ever heard of a book called, I'm going to go to you right now. Let's go to just Google, not Google patents. Let's go to just Google, regular Google. Okay. So there's a book called Dark Pools. Dark Pools. Now, it's a true story, this book here. Okay. Now, what is Dark Pools about? This is the book here. Okay, Dark Pools. It's funny because it's about the stock market, right? And how a guy named Joshua Levine created a distributed ledger technology, which he created it in 1995, which is 7 years after David Shwartz. Okay, that system was called Island, right? Island went on to be TD Ameritrade, okay? And TD Ameritrade, at that time, the market makers, they tried to get the SEC to come crack down on Joshua Levine Island, right? Which they did, right? Because basically that's like your bridge toll. You know, you want to get into the city of unicorns, then you need to pay your toll, right? So the DOT was superior to any trading platform Wall Street had ever seen, right? And eventually it took over, right? Eventually that system, the DOT system, took over, and that was the new standard for all exchanges, right? So this technology is not new. It's been being used. And in Dark Pools, in this book, they explain how it took over the stock market. So if history is to repeat itself, right, then this DOT system, which is going to be used for payments and stuff like that, right, you can imagine what it's going to do for payments. You can imagine what it's going to do for, for settlement. You're going to, like, if you were to trade the stock market, right, and you trade options, right, here's the difference between options and futures. If you trade options, right, so options trading, you make your trades, right, and it has to settle. It settles the next day. So so by the time it settles, okay, it settled, boom, then you could take a trade again the next day, right? But you cannot trade the day of. Why? Because the funds have to settle, right? And that's what Ripple is here to solve, the settling of the funds, right? That makes it so that securities and options and financial instruments, they can settle immediately. And you don't need to wait a day, 2 days, 3 days. So if you were to sell a stock today, guess what? That takes 3 days to settle. So you're going to have to wait not 1, not 2, but 3 days to get your funds to settle so you can take a new trade, right? And options, it'll take 2 days. 1 day, it settles the next day so you can trade the next day, right? And this is because of settlement times, which XRP solves this, okay? Now, if you understand that, you can imagine how it's going to transform trading, how it's going to transform settlements, how it's going to transform payments, how it's going to transform everything. Everything this is going to solve, right? So then we could go to the new patent that Evan Shwartz and Stephen Thomas, which they both work at Ripple, right? Okay, there it is. Stephen Thomas, they have, where's their patent? They're working on a patent here. There it is. Payment, let's go. They have a patent right now, right? And this patent, here, those Evan Shwartz inventions, Ripple Luxembourg, here it is, right? And so this patent by Evan Shwartz, also Stephen Thomas, but he's the lead developer here, right? And here, let's read what it says. Systems and methods for managing voice communication channels used by a group of people are disclosed. Exemplary implementation may electronically store information wherein the information represents associations of individual voice communication channels with one or more communication groups, wherein individuals, one of the one or more communication groups are specific to one or more roles of the people, specific documents, packets from end user communication devices associated with people. Okay, where the packets uplift information based on audio cap. So I don't know exactly the details in this one right here. I'm gonna have to go deeper into the weeds on because this is just recently, and I'm gonna have to get. But I do know they have one where, so maybe following inventions. So he has a bunch of them, but there's a recent one. So I gotta find them. He has a few of them here, but we're gonna find the other one. So anyway, so these guys got some serious patents, and XRP's leading the way, right? So I'm a XRP bull. I'm bullish on a lot of cryptocurrencies, but right now I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information on just do the math. The writing's on the wall. Like, why is this coin so bullish to a lot of people, and so many people are against it and don't believe in it? Like, at the end of the day, you know, for instance, if you put it in sports terms, right? A basketball team with the best basketball player always has a chance to win. So Ripple has some of the best talent. They always have a chance to win. So people might think this guy David Shwartz has been creating stuff since 1988. These guys are not new to this. So if you think that people that are this far in for so long that they're not going to create something that is extraordinary, then you're really putting unnecessary risk on your financial future by not having some kind of exposure to it. This is not financial advice, but for me, I'm invested in it. So anyway, this is a quick short video. I know that I need to put more videos out, so hopefully this helps you guys. If you want more of this content of the history of Ripple, the history of Solana, the history of Ethereum, if you want me to start giving you guys history of the founders and what they did and stuff like that, drop a comment below. Tell me what you want me to do a deep dive on, and I'll start doing them. Okay? Cheers, and I wish you guys the best.